Oh, just in time for Julie. Just in time. You're like a hero now.
Oh, is this thing work? Hello?
What?
What? What? Who is this?
It's, hi, my name is Peas from Passive Aggressive Anonymous. What's your name?
I'm Dr. Fox from Directly Aggressive.
No, you see, that's
Coherently.
bullshit right there. That's you are finding some kind of moral high ground on Directly Aggressive when that's
I wish I wasn't.
Directly aggression works at all. Even in the fucking
Yeah.
world, that's not how it works.
What?
Exactly.
I'm legally
finishing the champagne.
Live on the air.
I'm finishing the champagne.
Fox said angrily to his limo driver.
I'm finishing the champagne.
Right away, Mr. Fox.
I'm finishing the champagne.
Do we have to do the show now?
With that on the lid.
Not until I'm finished with my champagne.
It's I believe it's pronounced champagne.
Not finished with it yet. I'm gonna add the orange juice now because I'm classy.
Yeah, because mimosas is totally a 10 o'clock night drink.
Yeah, it's brunch in New Zealand, right?
I feel like if you're having mimosas at 10 o'clock at night, you have just fucking checked out of the whole society thing.
I was trying to check out of all of society, but then I saw it was 10 o'clock and I have to do this stupid show.
Right. Exactly.
Well,
have you got a cowboy outfit yet, as I advised? Either one of you?
When was I advised of cowboy outfits?
I'm sure that cowboy outfits have been mentioned, and the fact that the positive influence on me is nonetheless. It can't be much more of an endorsement than that, can it, boys? And if I'm endorsing, I think that you two, as my friends, would have rushed out and immediately after hearing about my positive experience with a cowboy outfit, gone out and gotten your own cowboy outfits. But from what I'm gathering, from what I'm hearing from your directly aggressive tone, is that you've got no cowboy outfit, and that if I'm even slightly even more mistaken, neither does Fidd fucking Chuli spearmint flavored.
And here's my question. Were you wearing your cowboy outfit when you ran screaming from the rage quit of the server last week?
No, I was a little dope sick maybe. And I know there's a whole demographic of people that are going to say, wow. And they shouldn't do this, but they're going to think Pease is even cooler because he was dope sick. But it's not true, kids. Pease was bad.
That's right. Tonight,
in all fairness, Dr. Fox had been pushing Pease's buttons and hurting Pease's feels. Even though Pease can't remember which feels or how Dr. Fox did that, that doesn't matter.
Are we doing the show
everybody.
Yet?
Tonight on Time for the Show, we confront Pease on being butthurt.
You're not reading those notes, are you?
And his heroin addiction.
And then
I read the show notes.
No, I want a noteless show.
Well, the show didn't start yet. I have to play the theme.
I want everyone to know from this day forward, I will not be clicking on any nefarious links from Dr. Argus Fox Esquire because of potential espionage, shenanigans, and hijinks.
Wait, that's not the theme song.
That's correct. It's not.
Did you get that theme song I sent you?
gonna go see what people are saying about the show on the Free Think Radio Time for the Show feed. No, so far, there's no comments. But nonetheless, it's fine. I'm not a member of the Hypercube. For some reason, I've been banished.
So, 30 seconds left in the theme song.
Everybody's been super quiet and saving it for the show. That's awesome. Hey, Fidd, have a good show.
Thank you.
Hey, artist. Have a good show.
Oh, the champagne's making it all it's all full of bubbles.
Hey, is it Dole Whip Mimosa like we had in Nevada? Yeah, this would be a good show. So, is it as good as the Dole Whip Mimosas that we had at that breakfast place in Nevada with executive producer at the time for the show movie, Walter Cosma?
Esquire?
Well, he's not actually an Esquire because I think that he's a doctor, actually. I profess that he's like I don't know what you call an evil scientist. I guess some of them are doctors, right? But you have
Broadcasting live from the super sphere thing.
Yep.
It's the time for it's my favorite part of time. My favorite part of time.
Show.
Hey guys, how you doing? Hi, Dr. Fox. Hi, Steve.
Hi, Fidd.
Yeah, we doing the show. Let's go doing it. Are you guys excited? It's time to do the time for the show.
Didn't play the theme song yet? That's my favorite part.
We did. We already did. Pay attention.
I'm too poor. I can't pay attention.
Dr. Fox and Thieves are unable to hear the music that I play through Mix. They exist isolated in a Discord voice chat room where they are blissfully unaware of the audio data that I pump through onto Freethink Radio that you, the listener, are privy to. I like to keep Peas and Fox in a dark hole. It makes them stronger. It makes them funnier.
It's a big black cavern.
Show is weakness leaving the body.
It's a big black cavern of show.
Well, I say that on the radio.
I think we can do the show. Because I have the show notes. Dr. Fox.
Not with that
attitude. The show notes every week. And my favorite bit.
I'm not looking at those anymore.
Is the show notes. Peas, yeah. I know you don't want me to read the show notes, but I literally have to. They're the notes for the show that we're about to do.
I think that's how you get Chinese balloon payloads.
I got a Chinese balloon right here.
If you read show notes, that's how you get Chinese balloon payloads.
Oh no, look out, it's Winnie the Pooh. He's up there. Oh, hold on, I got him. You gotta take this.
First of all, I don't think that the premier of the Communist Party of China appreciates being associated with Winnie the Pooh. Not only that, I'm not sure they're doing that anymore in China. I think now he's more of a goofy-esque caricature.
You know, if you use the term Chinese balloon payload, where I grew up, that was what we called a broken condom.
Listen, I want everybody to know today that I started my day with a huge release. I mean, a release. So if you're not at the level of release that I was when the sun rose this morning in the desert, I just don't want to hear your show.
I'm feeling as though it is a hyperinflation fetish artist with a Chun-Li commission. You know what I'm saying, boys?
It's not in the show notes.
Chum-Lee from Tennessee Tuxedo or Chum-Lee from Pawn Stars?
I can't remember the theme song to Tennessee Tuxedo.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Tennessee Tuxedo, he's the very best. Tennessee Tuxedo wears a hat and a vest. Tennessee Tuxedo on his back.
Where's the hat?
And Chum-Lee,
I don't think
the narwhal. He doesn't wear it, man. He fucking owns it.
I think
He owns it.
I think they both smoked it one time.
That hat tries to own him.
Yeah. Do you know who was a big smoker at Chesterfield's? Fred Flintstone. Now that was a guy who could get behind a deadly product to kill him. Well, you know, you gotta remember something. He's living there with dinosaurs, so he knows something about genocide right off the bat.
Hey, Fred, I hate seeing the girls work so hard. Yeah, let's go back so we don't have to look at them. I can't, I don't want to do this fucking shit. I can't talk. I can't read what's on my t-shirt. I can't tie my Velcro shoes. What am I supposed to do here? I'm supposed to be doing like some sort of flip-flopping show?
I don't know, dude. Can you paint with numbers?
What's the difference between Ted Kaczynski and Ted Cruz?
6 grams of gunpowder.
That's better than mine. Are we doing the show? Are we on the air yet?
No. We're doing show, but we're not doing it via your notes.
I just got here.
We have
because I didn't write notes today.
No, you wrote notes, but I'm not clicking them. I'm not even going to look at them. And if Fidd starts to talk about notes, I'm going to be like, you know what, Fidd? Not with that attitude.
We have to do the notes. Otherwise, how are we going to do the show? Look,
the notes,
is it
the
fans crave?
Yeah. Now, Pease, is your aversion to this week's notes that preemptive to reading the notes or post-emptive to reading the notes?
About show notes.
I want to know if you're vindictive or just petty.
No, listen, the thing with show notes is they make pals, buddies, the best of friends go at each other because they're written with some kind of weird, shitty intent that wasn't meant and interpreted incorrectly by one of the buddy pals and whatnot.
Those are called AMC characters, Keys.
Many times when people are friends for a long, long time, one of the friends does something and the other friend takes umbrage at it, but then doesn't really remember what the umbrage was about, so he gets madder and madder, and then the other friend does like a, what the fuck's the matter with you kind of thing, and so that friend's like, oh, well, I'm going to do this, and then the other friend says, well, then I'm going to write that, and next thing you know, one of the friends is mad. And I think I'm hoping that you've learned a lesson through this whole experience, Dr. Fox. That's my hope. But
I've learned that this is a great market to get into bounce house inflatables. That's what I've learned.
yeah, well, it is a growth market, especially in the high wind area.
It's expanding. Get it?
Okay.
Hi, Pease. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Did you listen to last week's show?
No, I think I wasn't on that show very long, so I didn't have much to listen to.
We'll have to put it in the notes. Hey, I don't remember if I wrote notes for this week's show or not. Fred, were you saying something about notes?
That means he thinks the show is dying. And I'm saying the show is really rolling along at a good pace right now, and we don't need to fall back on the crutch of the notes. But you think The show died right there, so you want Fidd to go to the notes. All right.
I'm only insulted because not only did you just say that you thought, but you insinuated that you thought that I thought something, and I think that's contrarian to my whole ridiculous diatribe here. How committed to you are you to this bit, Peas? I'm ready to take this bit to Vegas. Meet Elvis, get hitched, and then go out into the desert and hit with a shovel. How committed are you to this bit, Peas?
I can't believe we didn't go see Elvis when you guys were here. That was dumb. That was a stupid thing that we should have done. That's a shame. Now that you mention it, I feel really bad because I know a place we could have gone and seen an Elvis guy, and it would have been epic.
Yes, are you fucking assholes ready to read the notes? Because, look, we've got a lot of notes. And the thing is...
Are you reading them from the embed, or did you download the .txt file I DM'd your ass today?
Don't click those things, Fidd. That's dumb. It's gonna own you.
Open the file I sent you. Show notes .txt.exe. Open that one.
Don't do it.
In fact, right-click it. Run as administrator.
It's a subgenius virus.
When people are fans of the show, they really like to see behind the curtain. They like to see how the show is made.
They like to see it because if they're fans of the show, they're probably deaf.
Well,
no. And I believe the correct pronunciation is D.
Don't pretend like I didn't hear that. Get it?
I can't hear you because I'm deep.
We're not gonna. Oh wow! It's only there's only 74 lines in this week's show notes.
That's 14 lines more than we have minutes to do show.
Which is funny because I double spaced them when I typed them.
You know, we here at Time for the Show know that our fans like to know how the sausage is made.
Friends.
And that's why we cut out the middleman. Instead of doing a show and then doing a
we also cut out all of the inside of the sausage.
Yeah, we just, instead of doing the show and then the behind-the-scenes show, we just read the show notes right on the air during the show.
Nothing but skin.
Well, this is, here are this week's show notes.
And if they don't look good below the surface,
do you know that there's actually a Filipino grocery store, and they have inside of that like a little pop-up stand, and they sell you various types of fried skin. Like there's like fried pig skin, fried duck skin, fried chicken skin, all the different skins. I don't think they do beef skin or people skin, but they do deep fry a lot of different types of skins, many of which you might not have realized were edible, but are actually quite tasty.
For the skin.
Line 2 of the show notes says, time for the show 211:space Balloony tunes. Line 3 of the show notes says TFTS Relay 021323. Line 4 of the show notes says Fidd, do not read this part on air. Line 5. Shift 27 uijt tipx dboopu ij. Line 6 of the show notes. I know a lot of our listeners can't wait to hear what line 6 of the show notes says. This week it says, Fidd reads this on air. Line 7. Broadcasting live from the future annex of the soon-to-be capital of America's California, St. Petersburg, Florida. Welcome to Time for the Show! Line 8 says, Fidd, this is where you do the show. And line 9 is blank, so now I feel kind of lost. I have to do the show?
Have fun.
Wasn't it... You know what? I'll do the show later. Let's just get through the show notes first, and then we'll do the show. All right. Line 10 says, Segment 1, Blind Eyes. Line 11, explaining the blind eye segment is secretly a 60, 90 to 90 second chance for any unprepared host to craft a reasonable rant, but usually doesn't happen anyway. And line 12 is blank, so I think this is what we're supposed to do the segment.
4 75-second rants about different things and adventures that we've all had recently. And I feel like we met the criteria of that show note. I'm curious to what your thoughts are, Fox.
Hey, it's not about what our thoughts are. The show note says the blind eye segment.
That's for sure.
Cough.
Are you two each other's blind eyes this week?
I haven't even gotten to mine yet. Who's your blind eye, Peas?
Well, I don't really have a blind eye per se. I'm just really excited to have some time to heal from my traumatic colon cancer events that I've recently succumbed to. And, was on these Percocet pills for like 3 months, and having doses of morphine, just living a zombie-type life. And maybe I made some social faux pas during that period of time. I really don't know if I did or didn't, because as soon as I stopped taking the pills, I got super dope sick and had to back off and do a whole cut pills in half and really reduce my dose. But, I think in the most part, throughout all of this experience, I've remained the P's, and maybe I'm even coming out of it even more P-like than I was before. And I think that, no blind eyes, because we should all probably be buddies. Have an ice cream social with sprinkles on top, maybe some whipped cream unless you're lactose intolerant. And then, I'm good with you maybe just having some hot fudge and bypassing. But I guess if you were lactose intolerant, ice cream social wouldn't really be the thing for you to begin with. But I'm sure we'd have like frozen yogurt or something.
I'm squatting while I pee. I'm not sitting on the toilet, but I'm squatting, just hovering above it. You didn't see Social Fox Paws. That would have been funny. Because my name's Dr. Fox.
Yeah, it would have been. But, you're much funnier than I am. I know. I just...
All right, well, let's keep it moving. Who's your blind eye, Pete?
That was it.
Yeah, but I'm asking you again.
Again? To do another one where I have to hold my head like that, but surely?
I didn't stutter. I asked you what your blind eye was.
That bothers me a little bit is like every now and then I go to a drum circle and I'm like drum circling, and there's a vibe and there's like this beat and there's a whole mystical thing that a lot of drum circle hippies will, get super into. Like, this used to be a heroin addict, man, and then I started doing this drum circle offside of Venice Beach in Florida. Been doing the last 20 years every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights, and I don't do heroin anymore. The drums cured me, and my blind eye is kind of
why I hang out at A camp.
That looks across the drum circle at like the oldest dude like that, and then starts soloing on the drums. And he's such a good drummer that as he solos in the drums, he's still syncing to the drum circle's beat. And like everybody slowly starts to realize in this huge drum circle how much they suck at playing the fucking drums, at even doing this basic beat, because here's this guy doing that beat and jamming on top of it. He's Fidd the fuck out of the drum circle in a super power flex, and then drifts off into the night and falls asleep under the pier, cradling his Heineken. That's where my blind eye goes this week.
Man, I got such fortunate timing, I beat my wife out of rhythm.
Man, Peace. That was a really good blind eye, and I'm glad you mentioned that because it reminded me to ask you who your blind eye is this week.
Well,
Take it away, Peace.
I wish I had a blind eye.
What? You don't have... Huh?
I'm not prepared for tonight's show. I wished I'd have read the notes. You know, it'd be nice if somebody would take the time to write notes out the entire time and what we should do throughout the whole show without consulting any other cast or anything else about that, even though they ask for meetings and stuff like that. And
we get one of those robotic arms like the president has, and we just get like real-time mimeographs. That'd be great.
What's going to happen, I'm going to keep doing these blind eyes, and at the end of the show, somebody's going to say, oh, Pease was mean. And the part of the blind eye is that you're supposed to, you're giving a blind eye to somebody, but on the same token, you should not be judged for your blind eye. It's not like you should take heat because your blind eye was mean or was a throwback to our earlier bit about drum circles, or, you know, just, you know, you can't be, that's not fair. That's not right. So that's what my blind eye's about this time.
Who's your blind eye, Fox?
Oh man, people that don't ask me who my blind eye is. Number one. Absolutely. Number one.
Yeah, we do skip you a lot, don't we?
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, normally, those of you that listen to the show frequently will notice a pattern where I ask P who's his blind eye is about 7 times in a row, and then I give mine, and then I go on to line 13 of the show notes. And Fox he's a gentleman about it. You know, he reserves his anger until the end of the show, and then he goes, hey, thanks for asking me who my fucking blind eye was.
I do remember it that way.
And then
It was my favorite part of the show.
And then I go, oh, did I not do that? And he's like, yeah, and I had a good one too. But I wrote it down on a piece of toilet paper and ate it, so I'm never going to remember it now.
No, but it has become one with me. I am the blind eye now. And 30% Charmin.
So is your blind eye the brawny man?
I'll just fall back on Asian women.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, you know.
Do you think Asian toilet papers and paper towels have, like, Asian themed names? Like, ours are brawny and, like, you know, big lumberjack dude, and then there's the bear and Mr. Shaman. What do you think the Japanese or the Chinese, you know, toilet paper mascots are named? And is there a dragon one? Oh, you are so hot. Solving aloe dragon.
Well, their toilet paper is a different shape because their assholes are slanted.
I was going to say, it's thinner. It's same characters on the wrapper, but it's just thinner.
Wait a minute. I think, Fitzchuli, we got to... hold on. Stop the show, please. Fitzchuli?
Turn it off.
I think that you did a racism this time.
Well, that's not in the show notes, so it wasn't...
Well, I'm pretty sure I know a racism when I hear one.
Oh, just because I said all Asians have slanted assholes, I'm all of a sudden a racist?
Right. Correct, because I think it's only like 30%. You can't stereotype, dude.
That's the percentage of them that know karate, but they all do have slanted assholes. The only thing I can't figure out is it like vertically slanted or horizontally slanted? Because that would be weird.
That's why Japan is so ahead of the times in toilet technology. You know, they get everything, it just sprays you clean.
They have a horizontally slanted asshole. Like when they shit, it looks like a fax machine.
Or one of those Play-Doh.
That's definitely a racism. I'm convinced from personal life experience that all assholes are round.
Well, no, I can say that because I took a 23andMe test
from Baltimore,
and I got my Asian whore to spit in the tube for me. So my test came back that I was Asian. So I can say that. It's not racist.
What's age mean?
You also have breast cancer.
I had a poke bowl.
Is it like a Pikachu?
No, it's actually like a salady type dish with some raw fish in it. It was quite delicious.
But you
This
get
is
your
my
guts
favorite part of the
sewn
show.
back up and you just want to go immediately for the roughage? Did you go get you some boiled cabbage and a box of thumbtacks just to show your toilet who's boss after weaning yourself off of Pedialyte and oatmeal and rum?
Well, I haven't weaned myself off the rum.
I keep a nipple on my liquor bottles.
Line 12 of the show notes is blank. Line 13 says, Segment 2, Subgenius Court. Oh, shit.
Who's your blind eye, Fidd?
Oh, I tried to not say what my... Okay, I mean, look. When people use a number sign so that you know that the number that follows the number sign is a number, even though it's written in digits, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, yeah, send it to 4342 Buttfuck Terrace, apartment number 406, as if I would be confused if it just said apartment 406. I was like, what? What are these strange letters, these strange futuristic characters in this text? I don't those don't look like any of the 26 English letters that I know. I mean, they might be numbers, but if they were numbers, then they would have indicated that with a number sign. You're wasting 2 syllables by saying number before saying a number. Just say the number.
Syllable.
Just say the number. I'll do the fucking math. When you say
Syllable.
406, I'll know that you're talking about digits. Don't say apartment number. All right, I know that's like a. It's not the biggest issue in the world today, but it always
DoorDash route biting up your butt. Jeez, man.
Yeah, call me at 800-744-8386, extension number 24. Yeah, I figured out that 24 was the number. All right, we're going to move on, because that's just my personal gripe. But I do reserve the right to have at least 4 minutes to shout about what makes me angry that nobody else cares about. And I believe I've accomplished that.
I've got some Asian tissue that you can use.
Well, let's move on to line 13 of the show notes, Subgenius Court.
What a
Line
lucky
14.
number.
This isn't going to be good, because there's been a lot of tension between Fox and Pease in the first half of this show. And line 14 of the show notes says, in which the party of the first part, Dr. Argus Fox, moves that Pease apologizes for his passive-aggressive demeanor in episode 209 and subsequent rage quit from show in episode 210. The party of the second part, Reverend Pease, has his plea from episode 210, wherein Dr. Fox writes a directly aggressive set of show notes in response to the aforementioned prior episode 209, that the party of the first part should have spoken to the party of the second part before the airing of the subsequent episode 210, rather than have secretly crafting interpersonal drama in, quote, comedy gold, unquote, and should also be issued an apology. And line 15 of the show notes is blank.
So, here's the thing, because I get told I don't understand this bit. I'm going to plead my case.
It's not a bit. It's a segment. It's a segment. It's not a bit.
I feel slighted and hurt. And it's what developed from a couple of different things, which I will point out as exhibits further in my diatribe discussing the points. But I would make one point, that the charge of the second part, which states rage quit the show, I clearly said in said show I would be back for this show, and thus any mention of me rage quitting the show should be tempered with the knowledge that I said then I would be on this show, and YOLO, and here I am.
YOLO.
My butt hurt starts going back a couple months ago, when I have done the show longer with you than anyone else. Everybody else has gone off to do other things. They've come back. They haven't. Whatever. And I have many times said, I understand this is your thing, and that I am, I don't know, talent, whatever you want to call it. But my feelings were hurt that you made an announcement that the show was going on hiatus without discussing it with me, after having been there all during those times, because you were doing the movie. And it's fine, we did the movie, it's great, whatever, but that's when the seed of butthurt started with me. Then you came out, we did the movie, it was fun, couple incidents, whatever, there was people that shat themselves, beds were crawled into, but for the most part, it was an enjoyable experience. I loved having you guys here at the house. I tried to show my gratitude, you guys coming out and let me be part of your stuff by using all the skills I had as a host to cook food and all that stuff. You guys were very appreciative of it, and you guys all left, and I felt great about everything. Fine. The next day, I got diagnosed with colon cancer. My whole life got turned upside down.
That was Fidd's fault. It was his idea.
It was Fidd's fault, and we do understand that. But I'm getting to my second point, which is like a month and a half after this, because we're still on hiatus. I'm doing all this medical testing. I get the surgery, okay? I have the surgery done, or maybe it's before I have the surgery, and there's an announcement made, and I don't know how I heard about it on Discord or whatever, but you and Fidd are going to do a show. And I'm not sure because of the whole timeline or whatever. I felt like, I don't know, like my band just announced they were going to go on tour, and I found out I wasn't going to be on tour because no one called me to see if I could or would do show. So that hurt more than anything, because I was like, I felt super, super fucking slighted, and that my contribution didn't mean anything, because not only could you just unilaterally declare it was a hiatus, even though you're working on the project, and I get that, dude. I'm not saying this whole thought process is rational, but I want you to know what the thought process is. And then, without any consultation whatsoever, and I feel like I'm a wounded man down, my show, of which I do, maybe I shouldn't feel possessive of it, because it really isn't my show, it's your show. But the thing that I've been on and done the longest and trying to be the most supportive of you, decided to start doing it again without me and didn't even discuss it with me. And so I carried that anger, and that started to build, and that snowballed throughout this entire month of December and January, and then I jumped on to doing show probably when I shouldn't have. And, you know, I said some things that I know probably hurt your feelings. I thought I was being funny, and then I heard I'd like to use that. I got critiqued that I wasn't doing.
But I would make 1 point.
Oh, it's a time war. It's a time war. So anyway,
No, it's not a time warp.
all right. Well, anyway, my point being is that in the process of all this, I got a note, and I'm not sure from who, that you didn't think I was being funny, and that hurt me even more because I'm like, now I'm fucking taking pain pills to lay on my bed, totally flat, to do this show because I'm so frightened that you're doing it without me. And now you're saying I'm not even fun. So I did the next show, and I fucking really, because it was like, well, people said this. What fucking people? I know every single one of our fucking listeners. Maybe they had a bad week, and they told you that. And I was mean during the show. And it wasn't being passive-aggressive mean. I was just being aggressively funny fucking mean, like roast mean, in my part. And then your feelings were hurt, and then you got butt hurt, and then you wrote this, what you call directly aggressive, but I say that's what a passively aggressive person says about their passively aggressive diatribe of notes. And I want to say that maybe you won't agree with me, and maybe we'll have to go on disagreeing about this part and how we interpreted it. I interpreted it as a very passive-aggressive attack on my behavior, which was negative, okay? My behavior had been negative. I acknowledge that. And my only excuse for why my behavior was so negative is how hurt my feelings were, which I tried to explain in my first 2 points, okay? But when I read those notes, I was like, why the fuck do I even bother? Do I give a shit about this entire fucking enterprise when I am a joke to fucking people? Which I know is the fucking point. But it all accumulated is like, I'm not respected enough to be told that they're going on hiatus beforehand. I'm not respected enough to say, dude, we're going to do some shows without you, and I hope you don't mind, but I know you're sick. We want it just, and maybe that's not how it was meant on your part, and maybe I perceived it incorrectly, but who amongst the jury and the listening audience out there hasn't been in the same situation where they've misinterpreted social cues and reacted poorly about it? And then, I just want to move on, dude. I don't know that anybody needs to say they're sorry or whatever. We're brothers. We've been friends for a long time. I feel like we both fucked up in this situation. Now that you know how I feel and why I was motivated to behave the way I did, that you'll understand me as a person a little bit better. I don't feel I need to apologize for my behavior. My feelings were super hurt. I did look at us as being kind of a band type situation, and it was, I just can't tell you. And I know you're an artist, and artists are sensitive, and you probably got a whole long comeback to this just like I did, and I will listen to it, but at some point in time, we're just going to have to accept each other for who we are and the kind of people that we are, and we're friends, and we're co-creators, and we're we do this shit together, or we don't. But that's where I'm at. I was wrong on some, but I think that I was wrong on some levels because other people were wrong on other levels. And it all boils down to we were not talking enough, and that's probably related to my illness and the pressure that you had as an artist to start editing and making your movie. I get all the reasons why this happened, but this is the only way I know how to fix it, is that I've said my whole piece. I've laid it out there for you. I'm going to close. You're welcome to do a rebuttal. I love you. That's what happened. That's what happened in a nutshell. And I haven't really told anybody this whole scenario until right now on the air. And I purposely did it on the air so that, I did the other thing on the air. But I never quit the show. I said last week I'd be back this week. I went out, went camping, I got myself grounded again. That's where we're at, Fox. I love you, Ben.
All right. Strong opening argument from Fidd. Dr. Fox, your rebuttal.
Am I unmuted?
You were never muted.
I just want to make sure, because I was arguing vicariously the entire time, viciously, voraciously.
Nobody muted you.
Nobody heard my objections multiple times. I'm disgusted by the ethics of this court. By the way, may I just say, Your Honor, looking good. Looking good.
Oh. Really? Are you just saying that?
No, but I am saying that in pursuant to the, as the representative of the party of the first part, the plaintiff against the perpetrator, party of the second part, P's, that I liked the part where he was apologizing. I liked that part. That was good. I agree with that.
Well, you've made your argument. You said,
Pretty good.
I'm kind of killing it, right?
Worked on it all night.
Now, I mean, does this black robe make my butt look big? Be honest.
Oh man, not big enough.
Ooh. Well, you hear that, Pease? The prosecution's making a very strong argument for their case.
Wear your frock sideways.
Oh, stop it. Stop it, you. Now, look. Oof. Hold on. Let me just pat my head. Now, legally, I can't give you a more favorable judgment based on your compliments, but, you know, nobody has to know, right? Right? Nobody has to know. It's okay. It happens all the time.
He's made an appeal to the jury. I objected to that. Nobody heard me.
I think you muted yourself, bro.
I would never do something like that.
All right. Well, yeah.
I stand on principles of piousness.
Well, coincidentally, there's only 15 minutes left in the show. We're only on line 15 out of 74. So I'm just going to rule in favor of the very charming prosecution. And
thank you, Your Honor. I move to dismiss.
Yeah. Okay. Motion granted. I'm going to go into my chamber and masturbate.
I'm making a motion right now.
Stop it, you. All right, well, I guess that was the Subgenius Court segment.
Favorite segment.
Hey, we did it, guys. You know what that brings us to is line 16 of the show notes. It says, what it says is segment 3, Pizzo Box. Line 17 of the show notes says, send your viewer mail to email@timefortheshow.com. That's the actual email address. It's email@timefortheshow.com. You send your viewer mail in, and this is the part of the show where we read it. Line 18 of the show notes says, Dear show, how likely is it that the downed UFOs over the weekend aren't just gender reveal parties gone wrong? And that was sent in by Fox. Even your last names. That was sent in by Howie Leavesendry of Moose Knuckle. No state, Dr. Fox?
Hey, I calls them as I sees them.
Everybody knows you write the viewer mails. Okay. They know that. That's why they don't send their viewer mails to email@timefortheshow.com, because they love the fake viewer mails that you come up with.
They also know they can't write one better than me.
the offer is on the table. Any of you that can hear the sound of my voice may send a viewer mail to email@timesoftheshow.com, and we will read it on the show. But right now we have Howie Lizimdry of Moose Knuckle. Well, Howie, I asked ChatGPT-3 your question, and it said that UFOs, or unidentified flying objects, are typically associated with reports of unexplained aerial phenomena and are subject to scientific investigation to determine their nature and origin. Gender reveal parties, on the other hand, are events used to announce the gender of an unborn child and do not involve flying objects. So, according to the AI that will soon take over the planet, no. The answer is no. Dr. Fox? Would you like to address Howie's question?
Just that the footage of the Sidewinder missile blowing that Kerjigger, it was white smoke. So we do have a new asexual child. I'd like to welcome more into the non-binary crew, the NBC. Catch us every week opposite the BBC, if you know what I'm saying.
We're the peacocks.
Might not know what's in between my legs, but I know what I like in between them.
Peacocks.
Please, you don't have an answer for Howie.
What was the question?
The question was, what is line 21 of the show notes? And the answer is, Dear show, I have begun my adaptation to a minimalist lifestyle. I'd like to tell you more. And that came in from J.O. of C.K. All right. Line 24 of the show note says, Dear show, what's the difference between British English and proper English? And that was sent in by Squibble O'Hanrahan of Nooseknot, Oregon.
Oh, that's easy. Jamaica.
Yeah, I worked at a dismiss.
The prosecution's so satisfied I sustained the motion. I worked at a place that had two guys named Lewis. One was white and one was black, and I referred to them as
both were saints.
I referred to them as Black Lewis and Regular Lewis. And the thing is, I was friends with Black Lewis, and nobody liked Regular Lewis. So it just made it that much more fucked up that I was affording, line 27 of the show notes is blank. Line 28 of the show notes, I know you wrote the show notes, Dr. Fox, but you didn't read them, and you're going to be excited to hear that line 28 of the show notes is your second favorite part of the show. It's Cube News Hidden.
Oh my god. I need another pylon node to activate. If I recall correctly, because I planned on not being incredibly coherent during this show, that I put some primers in the Cube News notes. What was the first Cube News primer tonight?
Oh, that would be line 29, which says, RSS is enabled. We'll catch up after next week's show. So that's the podcast feed?
Yes, that's the podcast feed. I've turned the podcast feed back on, and I've started with the aforementioned by the defendant, Reverend Pease, with that episode, Hypercom Ramblings, episode 201, and moving forward from that with one episode a day, you can catch up with the last 10 episodes of Time for the Show tomorrow, and you can get that on your favorite podcast app, Google Podcasts, Apple, iTunes Podcasts, and view it online. Burn it to a tape, throw it in a dumpster, turn off your computer right now. It's that good.
Some of them don't have me though, because they didn't tell me they were going to start doing the show again until they started.
Yeah, starting with the first new episode, Pease is not in it, and he is not in most of them through the episodes that are currently available.
I'm pretty sure.
We will catch up.
Pretty sure.
So,
we're happy with the one song each they got on every Beatles album.
Well, we got 186 meaningful listens in the last week.
There was like 10 albums. That's like 10 songs each George and Ringo got to write for the Beatles. That's like a whole album by themselves. If they'd have done that Kiss thing where each member of Kiss had their own solo album, that like there was Kate, and there was Gene, and then there was Peter, and I'll forget the other guy's name. He'll probably be upset. But yeah, if we could have done that for George and Ringo, but no, they're probably fine. Blind Eye, those fuckers next week, I'll tell you that.
Gary was my favorite Beatle. Who's your Blind Eye, Peace?
Wesley Crusher.
That's a good one. He's a murderer.
Yeah. Shut up.
He is.
Line 30 of the show notes is the second Cube News headline, which is, it concerns subject T change, which some of you may know from Discord in the Hypercom
He hurt my
server.
feels once. He hurt my feels once too.
And from other places, but you might know subject T change without even knowing that you know him, because he lives up to his name by changing his name constantly. And he has been doing a show
by the
on
way,
YouTube called Talking About Books, because he's a nerd and a dork.
Yep.
And he
I had a
reads
Discord
really
channel.
interesting books. And he
had a
gives you
Discord
his very
channel.
interesting summary on those books. And that show that he has been doing, Talking About Books, according to line 30 of the show notes, it says Talking About Books with subject T change coming to Hypercube Go on YouTube.
Oh, very exciting. Well, he hurt my feels too. Him and Fox are in cahoots.
We like hurting you.
Yeah.
He gave you cancer. Did you know that?
No, but I was trying to for a while, I was going to all the Discord channels that I was in, and I would type in bro or outrageous, right? Because that's super fucking funny. I mean, I don't see how you don't see that's funny. And so I did it in his, and he blocked my ass. And so I was like, oh no, I'm not having that shit. Fuck that. I like you, guy, but you don't block me. So I jumped off his Discord channel. That's what I did to you last week, Fox. And I noticed that you added me back to Fidd's channel, but you didn't order me back to the fucking Hypercube channel. And you know what? I'm a little bit butthurt about that fucking too. I'm not sure that I can fucking deal with not being in the fucking Hypercube. And then something to change. I guess he felt bad that he banned me, so he cancels the whole channel. Or did he? Or did he just say that he canceled the whole channel so I would let it go? But then he was very nice to me when I was having the cancer problems and whatnot. So now I'm like friends with him again, but I just don't know. He's a mystery to me, and I don't know if I like his books or not.
I like the part where you apologize. That's my favorite part of it.
His wife seems nice.
Well, there's
She's
still more
super fucking funny.
Cube News.
Well, she thinks I'm funny, so you know she has good taste.
I mean, are we going to do line 31 of the show notes?
Whatever,
I
Fox.
don't even think we've covered the last one yet, have we?
Well, Well, there's still line 31 and line 32. And I mean, line 32 of the show notes is blank, but line 31...
Are those about me getting added back to Hypercube as an admin?
Getting mad! We will fuck you!
Well, I'm obligated to read it. It says, Dr. Fox goes to court, GoFundMe, Lincoln, Hypercom Dispatch.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's when I'm supposed to run over to the computer and push the button on the Control V. That's my complicated messaging system. Watch this, kids. You're gonna love this. What's your favorite part of the show, Fidd?
Line 32 of the show notes. You know why? Because it's blank. That means I don't have to do anything. But
yeah, I'm taking that mofo to court, and I have to pay money to get money. So yeah, that's in the dispatch at Hypercom.
Can I ask you something?
I'm sure you're going to get several $1 million out of that illegal felon.
I'm asking you truly, as somebody who's been through not exactly what you have, but having been wronged by somebody. Okay? But to what end? I thought that this guy was like basically a step of like, wasn't it like, what money is he ever going to have to be able to give you, dude? Do you know what I mean?
For all intensive purposes, I have no comment at this time.
Okay.
And appreciate anybody that donates to the legal fund.
No, I do too, and I will when I get my thing. I will.
No, I did. I thought that's all we've got to say is that I have no comments at this time.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
That brings us to line 33 of the show notes, which says segment 5 dreadlines. Whoop. Yeah, this is a new bit, and it's explained in line 34 of the show notes, which says
segment.
One of the following 3 headlines is fabrication, with answer to be revealed in Hypercom by Aster 6 following the paid copy. This week's headlines are : line 35 of the show notes. Number 1, M&M company fined after workers fall in chocolate tank. Line 36 of the show notes. Number 2, conservative customers mad about woke sandwich at Chick-fil-A.
Dark meat.
Line 37. Number 3, Oscar Mayer Wiener. Wait, Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile stolen for joyride. Okay, so we have M&M company fined after workers fall in chocolate tank. Conservative customers mad about woke sandwich at Chick-fil-A. And Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile stolen for joyride.
See, the joyride Wiener mobile.
Well, based on the fact that line 38 of the show notes is blank, I think that means this is the time that the viewers are supposed to submit their answers into the Hypercom Discord. If they're not a member of the Hypercom Discord, Dr. Fox, how do they become one?
Anybody can walk through this great big open doorway and join Hypercom, the bastion of the future. And you can do that at timefortheshow.com. Click the Discord button.
I clicked it. Nothing happened.
Great. Put your answer in the chatter cube.
All right, and we will give the viewers some time to come up with their answer, because we're going to reveal the answer after the paid copy, which is line 39 of the show notes. It says segment 6, paid copy. So this is the part where we get down to business, right?
Yeah, unfortunately we missed one in a billing cycle, so we have to do this one more time.
All right.
I think Peas should read it.
Nope.
Peas, stop texting me. I'm using my phone for the microphone for this show. And you're texting me. It's making it beep. It's probably fucking it up. Peas just texted me. All right.
Well, I know you love transparency.
Well, let's get that checked. I got to read this paid copy, guys, and then we're going to reveal the answer to which one of those 3 headlines is fake. All right. Oh, I didn't even pick out different music for the paid copy so that the viewers know to skip past it. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I appreciate this sponsor so much that I'm going to force the viewers to listen to each and every word. Line 40 of the show notes says, everyone knows I'm an aficionado of fine cuisine. When not flipping fresh fajitas in my French-handled frying pan or peppering my handcrafted party pickles with precious and precariously perused Pakistani spices, sometimes I find myself bored with trying to figure out which exotic dish to try and whip up next. That's where Big Black Smock comes in. I receive 3 pre-packaged pallets of semi-refrigerated foodstuffs every day, each one an exciting adventure in entrees. When I'm hungry, I just reach for a lukewarm Big Black Smock and get ready to chow down. Just vigorously apply 1 stick of butter to the exterior food shaft and load into your microwave for a patented 13 minutes. Big Black Smock meals are incredibly juicy, jam-packed with protein, and every one of our trademark 9-inch meal rods are filled with a gooey cheese center. Line 52 of the show notes is blank, but line 53 says, if you're looking for something mildly turgid to wrap your greasy lips around, just drop to your knees in thanks, knowing that Big Black Smock is ready to tickle your tonsils. Line 55 of the show notes is blank. Line 56 says, you can save 3% on your next 2-year subscription to Big Black Smock with the coupon code Line 58 of the show notes is blank. Line 59 says, act now and receive the Big Black Smock straw so you can suck one down on the road, under your desk, in court, at your nephew's baseball game, with your therapist or a discreet internet lover, anywhere and anytime. Line 62 of the show notes says that the customers are held liable for proper handling, and line 63 of the show notes is blank. So I think our check's in the mail. Did we do it? Did we do the line?
They were mad. They were mad that either they misspelled or you can't pronounce frittata.
Yeah, and the other one I couldn't figure out was you said that they said
precariously perused Pakistani spices.
It's perused, precious and precariously perused Pakistani spices. Okay, yeah, that throws me off every time.
You got it this week, though. You did get that one.
Well, look, we have a very good relationship with the people over at Big Black Smock. And, you know, when you're doing a podcast that has
a very tight relationship.
Yeah, and it's really nice. Like, when you have a sponsor that you're doing a live read for, it just makes it that much easier when you really do believe in the product. And I've gotten to know the people over at Big Black Smock very well. Very, very well. Intimately. Okay? And
got
so
nice couches there.
It just makes it that much easier because we're not just doing a live read. This is a product that we believe in. Right, guys?
Holy.
They said they'd give us 50 extra bucks if we said that.
Correctly.
Yeah.
It was more of a like a bet.
All right. Well, we did it. That brings us to line 64 of the show notes, and I know there's a lot of very regular time for the show listeners out there that know when we get to line 64, it's starting to wrap up, and they go, no, not line 64.
Oh, Aster 6 has the fake headline.
Oh, that's right. We're supposed to reveal. So, once again, the 3 headlines were M&M company fined after workers fall in the chocolate tank.
It was the purple M&M,
customers-
and she fell in because her boots weren't safe.
Well, save it for the show, Dr. Fox.
I was trying. I gotta get them out now.
And then conservative customers mad about woke sandwich at Chick-fil-A.
Dark
Last
meat.
headline, Oscar Mayer Wienermobile stolen for joyride. Dr. Fox, which was the fake headline?
Oh man, the loose grip on the wiener. That's what it would have to be. You know, The purple M&M fell in the vat at the plant because her boots weren't work safe. Chick-fil-A sandwich. It's woke because it's blackened. That's it. The third one is fake.
The third one is fake. So there really was an incident where M&M's workers fell into a chocolate tank and got
Or
fined.
ever had been funny. Correct.
Okay.
That really happened.
Isn't the chocolate tank what Dr. Purge calls her butt?
It's not lube, it's syrup.
Oh shit, I thought we weren't on the air. Okay, well.
It's okay, no one's listening.
Well, you know what? Actually, line 64 of the show notes would disagree with you. Because it says segment 7, patrons. So at least these people must be listening, and they're actually listed on line 65. Did you want to shout?
I wanted you to ask Pease. I wanted you to ask Pease which headline he thought was fake.
Oh, dude,
He had any.
I'm not even on the show anymore. I only work from 7 to 8. After it's 8:09, my part of the show is done. Unfortunately. But you guys, doing pretty good.
No, I probably didn't do good. The background music is probably too loud again this week. That's the problem. Yeah. I do it for Fox. Because I don't want to let him down. Every time I upload the file to him after the show, so he can post it on the RSS feed at Where Dr. Fox and the YouTube channel at Where Dr. Fox.
Timefortheshow.com, youtube.com/hypercubego.
Nice. You remembered both of the URLs for the show that you do. That's
pulled it
literally
together.
100% of the URLs. You can't do
Of
better
100% of the area,
that.
yes.
Oh, you fucking killed it, man. You remembered both of the URLs of the websites that you run, like right off the top of your head. You didn't even fucking you didn't blink. You just peeled those bitches off.
I wrote them on my eyelids like that chick from Indiana Jones, but I can only do it one at a time.
Well, Indiana is a chick name. I mean, let's be honest, right? Indiana. Come on. Well, speaking of, yeah, are you going to peel these names off, Dr. Fox, or am I going to do it? Are you not looking at the show notes? It's line 65.
I'm looking for them.
It's the patrons. I know
That would be-
you like to cite the patrons because, you like them, and I only pretend to like them.
Woo.
So it means more when it's coming from you. Are you gonna shout them out? You got it? You good?
I'd
You
appreciate Yeah. Little
Yeah?
fluff. Little.
All right. Well, hit it, Fox. Shout
Three
out.
salty These salty crackers get their weekly shout-outs by being Premio subscribers at patreon.com/hypercube, including Subject T Change, Bob South, Long Dead, Hazel of the Windmills, Caller 23, and Dr. Cosmac. Get your shout-out at patreon.com/hypercube and backed.by/hypercube. You could use your web coins there. Take it away, Fidd. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dr. Fox. And that brings us to line 70 of the show notes. It's blank. Line 71 of the show. Oh, wait. Whoa. Oh, I skipped a thing. I skipped line 68. Line 68 says, segment 8, apologies, and line 69, nice, says, who's your apology, Peas? Peas, this is the part where you apologize. Oh, man. I need a pop filter on this. I keep going, this is the part where you apologize. Alright, is Peas still here?
Oh, he left.
Really? Okay. Who's your Peas' apology, Fox?
Well, I guess I would apologize for the show notes. They're rather petty and vindictive at times. Other times, they're purposefully misleading, and other times they are rambling and incoherent. Who is to blame but ye? Verily, ye, verily. And I want to apologize for the viewer mails. I know we didn't really get around to those. You know, those guys, they work hard coming up with voices to yell at me in the back of my head, but don't think. Just put it down on paper and mail it to yourself at email@timefortheshow.com. Now accepting paper. And apologize for the blind eyes. They seemed kind of, you know, from left field tonight. Sometimes people get a little stirred up over that blind eye, but it's not a call to action, you know. We will cry by 12:01 a.m. tomorrow. And Subgenius Court, definitely want to apologize about Subgenius Court. Seemed to be a futile exercise in a futile mindset. You know what I'm saying? Futile. Now who needs a pop filter? I want to apologize for Fidd's microphone. And you might have noticed that his piss streams were coming in a little poppy tonight. Maybe he needs to lay off the carbonation. Maybe switch to just a little malt liquor here and there instead of going for all the beers. You know, just step it up a little bit. Fidd, you know, out, you know, one malt liquor, half a bottle of water.
A lot of people have been telling me that lately. Yeah.
And want to apologize for the news. It wasn't very informative. And definitely want to apologize to the headlines because we never revealed which one was the fake headline. And then apologize to our sponsors because Fidd almost had it tonight, but we didn't get it. And I want to apologize to Peas for not getting an opportunity to read tonight's paid copy, which will be in the show notes in the RSS feed when this episode posts later this week. And I want to apologize for the part where Peas left the show because he was texting Fidd, probably letting him know how mad he is at me right now and that I'm a big old jerk and a meanie head. But if he can find the logout button on the server, I'm sure he can find the Discord button at hypercubego.com. And for that, I'm really sorry.
It's funny that you mention hypercubego.com because despite the fact that line 70 of the show notes is blank, line 71 says links and is followed by a colon. And then line 72 and 73 have Dem Lanks. You want to say Dem Lanks?
I'm pretty sure
thanks?
that.
Say
yeah,
Dem Lanks and Dem Thanks.
Lanks and thanks, because, man, when you want to fly like an eagle, sometimes you just got to wing it. And that's what Dr. Ellis does. And Martha Artha, sweet mommy, the child of the radio future.com. And, yeah, they run freethinkradio.com that hosts this show every week, Mondays at 10. And we're kind enough to keep our slot nice and warm for us when I was being a big old sad sack. So thank you to Dr. Ellis and Martha Artha. The other one is timefortheshow.com, where you can view the episodes, get the links to the YouTube, view the old blog posts with the Blockfluster reviews and the no longer up to date, but kind of up to date because we don't do that segment anymore because we never did bits. Is it a band? And other goofy stuff at timefortheshow.com. I think there's even a sticker sheet you can download. Look at that. Them's the links. Thanks to all the kids at home. You kids, you got the real links. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to everybody over at that Hypercom. And, you know, I know Subject T changed. You know, he tries to get all the big thanks and all that stuff like that. He's trying to be, you know, he's the hyper showboater, which I love. You can be a hyper showboater too at patreon.com/hypercube. But Agnes Beef, man, she's our bad B, a hyper C. You know what I'm saying? And she's like the only woman, or shall I say, Gyno-American, the only Gyno-American on our moderation staff, which you better watch out because I gave her a hammer and I'm waiting for her to beat someone with it. That's gonna be hot. Fidd, anything from you?
Well, you know, the only thing that I have is the show notes. And that brings us to line 74 of the show notes, which is blank. And that's the last line.
Favorite line.
So, you know, theoretically, we're at the end of the show. I would like to thank Jesus Christ for making this show possible and for telling me not to spill my seed. I always catch it in a shot glass because that's what the G's told me to do. Well, that's all I got. I guess P's left, so
it's his favorite part of the show.
You know, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna sign off and we're gonna end the show on a Fidd Chuli mashup, because why not?
A master tape.
Well, from all of us here in the most penis-shaped state of all of the states, Florida, I wish you Godspeed, fair travels, and a very wealthy cryptocurrency account.
.com/hypercube.
She's an Xbox, and I'm more retired about the way you play your gaming there. I picture the fool that falls in love with you. She's a golden, well, just nothing's straight. Keep on riding on through. Yeah, go and run tell your little boyfriend. I see you driving around town with the girl I beat your ass right now. I see you driving around town with the girl I love, and I'm like, fuck you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you, and fuck you. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. No, ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. But you.
Now, baby, why would I hurt me so bad? So bad. I tried to tell my mama, but she told me this is one for your dad. Yes, she did. And I'm like, if you feel like dancing, come on, it's up to you. We got the sound to keep it getting downtown. The train is coming. If you feel like dancing, come on, it's up to you. We got the sound to keep it getting downtown. The train is coming.
I see you driving around town with a girl I love. Fuck you. I guess the change in my pocket wasn't enough. I'm like, fuck you, and fuck you. Said if I was richer, I'd still be richer. No, ain't that some shit? And although there's pain in my chest, I still wish you the best. But
I swear to God, I will grab you by your fucking baby fat and the top of your fucking head, and I will throw you upside down through the fucking bay window. Do you understand that? And as you sit out there in the rain, picking the glass and the wood shards out of your body, I'm going to take a tray of hot macaroni and throw it right on your fucking face.